Hey everybody, and welcome to my in5 series where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Doing something a little different. Was asking people to just reach out and ask me just general music production questions, and to that end, Bug Out reached out and asked how often I bounce to audio, and I feel like there's a little bit of a reason to talk through why I do it. But let's just start with it depends on the music instrument that I'm using. So something like the MPC, like the MPC Live 2 that I've got. I very rarely bounce to audio because I just have so much processing power for effects, and you get plenty of sample time to do like at least one song generally. So with the part per quarter note part piece and component, with a 960 parts per quarter note, if you're using that to your advantage, you can place notes just about as accurately as you could possibly want to on a timeline. Obviously, if you need to get like even more accurate, or you just can't get that like right swing or feel by you because it's like quantizing on you or something, yeah, like definitely go audio. Audio is a great way because you have like near infinite ability to do whatever swing, groove, or whatever you want, obviously within the bounds of audio, but it will give you a looser feel. It will make it so things don't sound quite so tight. And I honestly think that there's value in both ways. So, like, if you want things to be very rigid and on the grid, plenty of devices can do that. MPC, however, does give you a lot of options to get off the grid. Um, Something like the SP404 Mark II, though, it has much more limited sample manipulation, and it has much more limited effects. So I frequently will bounce to audio or just resample far more on the SP404 Mark II here because you just very quickly will run out of the effects buses that you want, or it's just easier just to bake the effect into the sample and then just use it, and then you can go repurpose that effect for something else. And as I said, like there is the problem that we don't really have a what I would say a proper sampler where you have like an ADSR envelope and filters and other things per sample. So if you want to have specific sounds on any individual pad here, you're going to need to go through and make the effort to resample them and bounce things to audio. Um, and as a result, like there's a whole community that has developed a whole sound of just playing stuff live and resampling into the SP404 Mark II. I mean, the Mark II has the patterns, which is decent enough to make patterns and do things with it, but I would say like it's really worth taking that time and effort to also learn how do you just play things and then kind of just keep resampling and adding and changing things over time. You'll get a much different sound, much different audio out of it. You'll love it or hate it, or maybe sometimes you'll love it, sometimes you'll hate it. It's okay. Um, Similarly, I mean, take something like the OP1 here. It's a tape focused device. So you're going to get 4 tracks that you can record to. The sampler is even simpler than what you get. The sequencer is even simpler than what you get on the SP404 Mark II. Sampler is even simpler. You're really forced to just work in this tape model per track. And personally, I think there's value in it. It can be very frustrating for you if you're not used to it, or you're very used to having microscopic control like you get on the MPC or something else. But you know, you kind of got to work with the instrument the way that it wants you to work. And the OP1's definitely one that I would say is good to check out, but also just know that it can be a frustrating experience depending how you're coming to it. And then I've got the M8 here. I've been doing a couple videos talking about like the setup here, but what I want to say is the M8, it only has 24 parts per quarter note. That is not enough to get very granular with where you're landing samples if you're just thinking about the sample as like it has the very specific start and end and all that. But you can loosen things up by just taking and putting a little bit of silence in front of a sample, and then it's going to start allowing you to move where things are triggered. So you're triggering the sample from this like a 24 parts per quarter note, but as you adjust how much silence is in front of the sample, you can then go make some changes for like actually where it's landing and really loosen it up. Similarly, I always tell folks that get like stuck in this quantization trap, in this quantization trap, audio is very malleable. And if you have an audio file, that is going to give you the best representation of being able to like take whatever you have in your head for a groove that may like maybe nobody's even done like a certain swing or groove before, or you're just like you're switching it up so that you're like partially a straight groove, partially like off the grid, and it can be very hard to capture some of those things in various devices. But if you do it as an audio loop, you can record it, you can practice it, you can get into it. So for me, bouncing audio is frequently more a way to push myself out of my comfort zone of being able to just program things in and be able to take like some of those risks. Now, something like the M8, you can it doesn't have like sample memory. It just streams everything out the SD card. So like being able to come in and play something really silly over here and just record it in, that sounds super silly, but maybe I record that and start just manipulating it and then kind of refreshing and redoing it over and over. It's also a great way, as I said, to just kind of keep layering effects and get into sound design. So I don't know. I have to say it depends on the device how often I bounce to audio. I probably do it less frequently than I should sometimes, but especially with this like M8 setup where there's a lot of concessions where you only have like your 16th notes, and then you could just it's working at as I said 24 parts per chord note. So it's like making me kind of go into some areas where if I want to go off the grid, I have to do some things that are normally a little bit uncomfortable for me that might be more natural for other folks, and just try some new things. So anyway, thank you, Bogo, for the question. Everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.